So you're in beautiful downtown Vancouver at the Helijet terminal. It sounds like you're going to have your hands full at this provincial council meeting at the end of next week. How concerned are you about these various resolutions calling for the party to go right to a leadership convention rather than leadership review next year?
Oh, I'm not concerned at all. I'm looking forward to provincial council. I'm looking forward to discussion, and I'm looking forward to getting on with the job and providing British Columbians with an alternative to the Liberals. You know, when you're leader of a political party, there are always people who are going to be concerned and disagree with the direction that you're going. That can be a distraction, but I'm continuing the focus that I've got. There are always going to be people who are complainers, who think that they have a different direction to go. I'm looking forward to the debate, the discussion, and getting on with the job.
Well, some of those resolutions certainly present a challenge. What do you make of the one from Nanaimo, North Cowichan, which says, let's have you resign and then go to a leadership campaign?
Oh, as I said, there are always people who are going to be out there complaining. There are always going to be people who are critics. I'm going to get on with the work that I need to do. You know, it's easy to have distractions around you, and it's easy to let those distractions get in your way. I don't do that. I continue on with the work that I need to get done. And, you know, when I look at what's going on in our province right now, we will have a huge gap without having a leader in place with the Liberals. We've had a massive reorganization that's causing chaos. We have so many things that need to be addressed in this province, and that's the work that I'm focused on, governing on behalf of the people who elected me.
But this does represent a challenge to your leadership, does it not, from the rank and file, some members of the rank and file?
Oh, you know, if you the only time you won't get a challenge to your leadership is if you're doing absolutely nothing as a leader. I always expect that there are people that have been out there. It's been ever thus. There were people who didn't support me when I ran for leader of this political party. You can't let those things get in the way of the work you have to do. You have to focus on the work you have ahead of us. I've got good, strong support to do that, and I'm looking forward to it.
But, Carole, this does seem to be sort of this call for at least a leadership convention, if not your outright resignation, seems to be gathering steam. There seems to be some momentum here. Is it not a little bit more serious than you're letting on here?
No, in fact it isn't. If you take a look, there are, as I said, a few folks who have been calling for a change as we get to November. I'm not concerned at all.
Well, what do you think is going to happen then when these motions come up for debate 10 days from now?
Well, that's up to the members. We'll have a good, strong discussion. I expect support coming out of provincial council, and we'll get on with the work I have to do.
But again, Sean talked about momentum. What I've heard from some is that they're concerned that the Liberals will now have momentum as they replace their leader with somebody more attractive, maybe a Diane Watts. How concerned are you about that kind of challenge?
Oh, I'm not concerned at all. It's the Liberal policies that we're running on. It's the Liberal direction and their record of 10 years. It doesn't matter whether they try and bring in someone new from the outside. It's the BC Liberals who have to answer questions around the BC rail sale and the corruption trial. It's the Liberals who have to answer questions about the minimum wage, the lowest in the country, the highest child poverty rate. It doesn't matter who they put in place. That'll be the fight that we're taking on, and that'll be a fight on behalf of the people of this province.
How does roll the party the fact people didn't know until a few weeks ago he was being paid as party president? How would you respond to those concerns?
Well, again, we'll have a good discussion at provincial council. I expect people to have a chance to raise their issues, and we'll get on with the job we have to do. That's the kind of discussion we always have at provincial council. I'm not concerned at all.
The concerns they've raised, is it legitimate that people weren't told that Mo was being paid for a position that has been voluntary in the past?
Oh, they'll have a discussion at provincial council, and they'll have a good opportunity to raise their issues.
Carole, is it frustrating that here you are leading the Liberals 2-1 in the polls? You're the highest rating I can remember you had in the recent polls, and yet you still have this carping from some members of the party. Is that frustrating for you?
Well, I've admitted to being frustrated at the time and energy that people can spend on complaining instead of doing the work that needs to be done to be able to defeat the Liberals and provide British Columbia with a government they can respect and trust. No question that kind of time wasting can be frustrating, but I'm not letting it get in the way of the work that needs to be done.
Are you hopeful? Sorry?
No, go ahead.
Do you think you can turn this around and bring the people around behind you, make people persuade people to coalesce behind your leadership so this can become a show of unity?
Oh, there's good, strong support out there. I'm not concerned.